I'm storyteller and author Pleasant Despain, and you have a wonderful imagination. Welcome to Pleasant Journeys. My story for today is an old Irish folktale called Redcap and the Miser. It's found in my Books of Nine Lives series, Volume 7, Tales of Enchantment. Let's begin. It was long ago that a grumpy, stingy old man named Philip liked to complain and moan about everything. His neighbors, because he was so stingy, thought that he had probably sold all the hair on his head to the leprechauns for pillow stuffing. Philip's head was bald as a hard-boiled egg. And one day, Philip went out to his barn and found there was a little bit of fresh milk missing from the big milk can. Oh, he was furious. He said, whoever that thief is, I'll catch him. I'll make him pay double, no, triple, Annie. Annie was his long-suffering wife. She had put up with him for so many years. She said, husband, it's just a wee bit of milk. We'll not miss it. Oh, that's not the point, said Philip. I will not tolerate a thief. No one gets to steal from me. Now I'm going to hide in the barn and catch me the thief. You'll see. And he did hide behind a big pile of hay. And he waited until finally he saw Redcap, the leprechaun, walk right up to that big pail of fresh milk. The leprechaun was carrying his own very small empty pail. Philip leaped out from behind the haystack saying, "Aha! I've caught you red-handed, you little thief. What do you have to say to that?" "Oh," said the leprechaun, "I say you're still grumpy and stingy is what I say. Now, you're always complaining. You say that my thorn tree that I live under grows too close to your field. Listen now, I do take a little bit of milk, but your father always gave me some milk, and so did your grandfather before him." "Ah," said Philip, "then I've decided. You owe me a great debt, Redcap. And I want payment in gold. I want to be paid for all the milk you've taken, and all that you've taken from my father, and all that you've taken from my grandfather as well. And it's time now for you to pay rent living under that thorn tree for all the years that you have. If not, I'm going to cut that thorn tree down and plant corn in its place." "Oh," said the leprechaun, "so it's corn you want, gold you want. Oh, you old stingy man. Well, I'll tell you what. If it is corn you want, I'll give it to you." And he flicked his hand right up into the air, and the little red cap on the top of his head flew way up into the barn, up to the ceiling, and then it started tumbling and circling down, and it plopped right on top of Philip's head. And suddenly the leprechaun skipped right out of the barn in the wink of an eye. He was gone. And Philip, he was concerned, and he tried to pull that red cap off his head, but it wouldn't budge. So he walked home, and Annie, his dear wife, well, she pulled and yanked and twisted, but it wouldn't move. He had to wear that cap to bed that night. And when he woke up in the morning, he felt something growing under the cap. He said, Annie, I think that old leprechaun is giving me hair again. I can feel it growing. Oh, she said, let's take a look. And she used her sharp little scissors to cut just a small hole along the seam so she could peek in under the hat. And she said, husband, if it's hair you're growing, well, it's green and it has ears, little ears growing on the stalks. Oh no, said Philip, I've been bewitched. Oh, I'll have to go apologize. So he had Annie help put 6 fresh eggs into a basket with a pound of fresh butter. He walked across the field over to the thorn tree. He called out, Redcap, Redcap, I brought you some gifts, and you don't have to pay for milk from now on or ever again. Please take the red cap off my head. And from under the tree, the leprechaun said, well, Philip, I'd like you to do me a little more. Would you build a nice little fence around the tree to help protect it? Yes, said Philip, I'll do that. And maybe you could bring me a little bit of cheese every week? Oh, okay, I agree. Very good, said the leprechaun, and he put his hand into the air, and that cap flew right off of Philip's head back on to the leprechaun's head. Redcap had missed his little cap, and besides, the joke had been played. Philip rubbed his bald head. Everything was fine again. And he went on home. And ever since that time, well, Philip remained a stingy, grumpy old man to everyone except Redcap. And there ends my story. I hope you liked it. Give it a like if you will, and subscribe. The channel is growing. These stories are going everywhere in the world, which makes me very happy. And leave a comment, if you will. I'll respond. Down below, you'll find my website. All the stories, all my books are listed on the website with a direct link to Amazon.com. There are so many stories yet to tell. Another story to tell next week.